Hey everybody, it's Mark Yegi. Welcome to another Market Pulse for August 29th, 2025. Interesting week, right? We're in a green market and the market is actually down. That happens inside a green market, just like you get bounces inside of red markets. That's good. So hopefully you're having a great week. With that being said, let's get through some of the things that we just discussed on our mastermind call with the gang that was there today. And a pretty good discussion, pretty good debate, especially around Bitcoin kind of stuff. Anyway, this is last week's chart, and you can see there's four green lights on that. That's pretty bullish. And then we have four green lights continuing this week. So the market looks to be going higher. We had a couple of all-time highs yesterday set by, I think, the S&P and the New York Stock Exchange. So some good stuff going on the market action. So let's take a look at the Nasdaq. You can see the Nasdaq hasn't quite been able to hold that 21,803 that it made a couple of weeks ago. That was its all-time high, but it's not bad. It's just down a little tiny bit from that, but it's certainly not selling off in any kind of volume. I think what's going on is there's a big move toward assets that are going to benefit from a potential Fed cut, which everybody's been saying. I think it's like an 81% chance, according to Polymarket, that we might get that Fed cut. And if we get the Fed cut, that's generally accretive for assets, which means real estate, everything gets inflationary, right? So anything that benefits from more money printing, more money, denominator getting devalued means the numerator goes up, which means that you have devaluation or people think they get more value out of their house. It's the same value, but it's called inflation. So, hard assets benefit from that. So gold, silver, real estate, Bitcoin, stock market, but whatever, anything hard assets. The soft assets don't generally benefit from that. So that's what I think the play is. That's my opinion. By the way, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion, education, and information. So hopefully you're taking it that way. Seek professional help, etc. Your mileage may vary. Okay, S&P 500 hit that all-time high yesterday. It's off it a little bit today. Nothing to worry about in my opinion, but who knows? Could be the start of something, but to me, this market looks like it's been melting up like it's been doing since April. This is one of the longest chugs up in a long time that I've seen. Dow Jones Industrial Average hit an all-time high a week ago, hasn't been able to hold it since then. That's okay. New York Stock Exchange, same thing. All-time high a week ago, been kind of hovering, but can't push through it. Again, that's okay. The VIX now is down, still near its lows. They were about 14 last week. It's up a bit now, 1560, because we're kind of having a red day. A lot of things are selling off before the long 3-day weekend, which is coming up here, Labor Day. Nvidia. So you can see I've drawn a couple of lines on the Nvidia chart. And this to me looks like a support line and may want to come back and test that 50-day moving average. It is actually breaching this little short-term line that I drew on there. So we'll see what that means for Nvidia. Nvidia, one of the most valuable companies in the world now. We all love it. And we all think that AI is the future, and Nvidia stands to benefit from that because they supply most of the chips. Isn't it funny how this company came from a graphics chip company and now they supply the AI chip backbone for the world? I think it's really an amazing transformation that this guy's done for the company. Palantir, I warned you a few weeks ago not to be buying Palantir because it's in a late stage base, and sure enough, bounced back down from 190. You just got to be careful with stocks like this. Because they have a tendency in a late stage base to correct. And this one's back around the 50-day moving average. Who knows if it's going up or down, but it's around the 50-day moving average and holding there fairly solidly. But there's no reason to buy it or sell it at this point. Who knows? At least that's the way I'm looking at it. Tesla is in a consolidation here between this 368 level and the 273 level. It's right around the moving averages. There's, just not a lot of impetus to go up or down the way I see it. Apple is kind of like with a lean toward going into September where they might be introducing some new phones and some new products and iPads and all this exciting stuff that Apple tends to do towards the end of the year. So to me, Apple looks a little bit, on the bullish side. But again, I have no idea. And all I do is try to read the charts. Strategy, which used to be called MicroStrategy, is below the 200-day moving average on slightly less volume, but Bitcoin hit. It's a Bitcoin treasury company, and Bitcoin went all the way up to I think 124,000 a couple of weeks ago, and now it just breached under 110,000. So all the Bitcoin companies seem to be feeling that a little bit. or is it a chance for a pause here and people start to accumulate MicroStrategy or strategy? I don't know. I can just tell you that in my portfolio, I like it, and you know, to me, it's moved from 457 all the way down to 335. That's a pretty big move in my book. It's got some signals of being oversold. Riot Platforms is in the Bitcoin mining space. It bounced off that 50-day moving average a few weeks ago, and now it's higher and you know, moving a little closer to that 1534 direction rather than that 1059 direction. But we'll see. AppLovin, which was last year the #1 performing stock, I bought a little bit a couple of weeks ago, and I did covered calls on it. If you want to see more about those covered calls, you got to go to my channel at cashflowmachine.net and check out some of the extensive videos that I talk about over there on covered calls, because I can't put them here right now. But anyway, I'm loving AppLovin, and you know, they're part of the app ecosystem. And I think we all like apps on our phone, and this company seems to be benefiting from that. Let's leave it at that, because they've got a long weekend, and really some of the other stuff is not as important as spending time with our families, giving them big hugs, laughing, and enjoying you know, your friends and family. That's important. I'm here having a good time with some friends and my loved ones. So hopefully you're doing the same thing. We'll get back to the money stuff next week. Money is fun, but it's not as fun and important as some of the other things that we have in our life. Thanks for joining me on this week's Market Pulse. Be excellent this weekend. Enjoy your 3-day weekend, and talk to you next week. Bye-bye. So I need to put up a legal disclosure here. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only, and this is entertainment, and it's not financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions, and please be careful.